My favorite part about interviewing founders every day is finding out why they started what they started. And oftentimes it's because they were so frustrated with something in their day to day life that they just had to do something about it. Because if you're a natural born innovator, why wait for someone else to do it when you can just try to do it yourself? So when I came across founder Maggie McDaris on LinkedIn, I had to speak with her because she was out there, she was talking about her business, she was very ambitious, and B, her business was pretty cool. So I was ultimately trying to find, how founders structure their days. Sometimes people have these weird habits and these like interesting things that they do to be able to shift and shape between all these different tasks and activities and stay focused and not burnt out. But her app is one that's landed itself in the femtech space, that it's hormonal tracking, but also integration. So a lot of hormone tracking apps like Flow Health, for example, they allow you to understand where you are at in your phase, tell you, where you're at your best, why you might be feeling sluggish, when you're going to have symptoms of X, Y, Z. But what her app it does all of that plus application. So it allows you to take your learnings and directly input it into your day-to-day life. So it integrates into your workspace calendar. So in its beta phase, it currently works in Google Workspace. And you can see every day of the week when you might be at your best at one certain function. So let's say Friday, my communication skills are going to be at its highest. Maybe I'll schedule a pitch meeting for them. And obviously nobody has full autonomy over their meetings and, work schedule in general. So maybe I'll schedule for Wednesday. But either way, it's a really good guide. And she told me that, sometimes it's not about knowing when you're at your best, but feeling okay for not being at your best. And it's just as simple as that. It's the future of biology-based productivity. But the best part about it is it just was born out of a frustration between two people that not only did they want to fix it for themselves because they realized the benefits of this cycle syncing trend that's been going on, but they wanted to fix it for other women. And so one of my favorite stories that she told me was that they were at this women's event with, really big name industry leaders and business professionals that have been very successful in their careers. But for some reason, every single woman in that room was talking about having to overcome their cycle in some way to be able to achieve that success. And she just couldn't stand that. It's something that if you feel so passionate about something personally and you see other people going through it, you might want to try and change. And so it was a really interesting story. They have all this amazing stuff to say. Perfect example of being able to turn a frustration into a business model. And if you want to hear more about it, have a read of my story at Digital Frontier.